Zoe from Farmacist here in Mackay. I'm just in one of my growers' paddocks today, a beautiful mossman crop, and I wanted to show you the difference between applying mill mud before your soybean versus applying a granular fertilizer. So in this situation here, we had a late end to our crush, so we didn't have a lot of time to get the crop in, so we only got to mill mud half the paddock at 50 tonnes to the hectare. This soil type here responds really well to mill mud, so I've been working with this grower for 3 years now. He's part of the project pod, and as one of our improved management practices we wanted to do was increase the fertility and the soil health, and one way to do that is through mill mud. So we only had a little bit of time here. We've got half the paddock done, but the grower still wanted to put on some nutrients to help crop establishment on the other half. We're actually really lucky we've even got a crop here today because we planted and then we got 90 mil on top of it. So this is obviously the mill mud application block. Really beautiful establishment here. It's had its spray and we've actually had quite a lot of waterlogging conditions, so it's pushed out of that, so I'm really happy. We have a little bit of pest damage, but that's normal at this stage. It's nearly mid-thigh height, but looking really good. We went with a lower plant population too, around that 250,000 seeds to the hectare, so that we didn't get as large a crop because we were worried about lodging and then all the issues that comes along with that. So really nice crop in our mill mud, and I'm going to take you now to our granular fertilizer section. So I'm just taking you over now to our granular fertilizer section. We applied CK44S at 250 kilos to the hectare, which puts on about 25 kilos of nitrogen, about 20 kilos of phosphorus with your added potassium and sulfur. And obviously we don't want to put too much on our legume crops because obviously they fixate their own nitrogen as well. We can see straight away it's not as good here, but we need to remember that mill mud has a lot of extra other goodies besides really nice slow release amounts of nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium and sulfur, but it's also got calcium in it. We are in an acidic soil. Legumes are sensitive to acidity. I think a little bit of that calcium has helped. We've also got a lot of trace elements in your mill mud as well, such as your zincs, which are again important for legume establishment. The reason we ended up still putting some fertilizer on this section is that we had a really late end to our crush, and the ground didn't have a lot of opportunity to recover after the cane crop. So we put it on here. Typically we would still use mill mud in the future, but I just wanted to show the difference between putting on a product like mill mud that has a lot of added soil health benefits versus your straight granular fertilizer. So on this farm, we're going to keep using mill mud. It's really important to note that just because we fertilize a legume crop doesn't mean we're going to get extra yield. So here we're actually going to do some yield assessment, but it is also again important to note that you can grow really fabulous crops without the addition of fertilizer. So it's a horses for courses. You need to see and trial these things on your own property under your own management style and under your own soil types. And sometimes there's just going to be years where you're going to see a difference and sometimes you won't. Take it with a grain of salt and just experiment. It's always a pleasure working with our local growers to meet their production goals. One of the best ways, if you're new to the industry, you're a grower yourself, you're an advisor, or you're just a keen person, is to actually come be one with the crop. Check it out, check its growing points. The more you visit the crop, the more that you're going to be able to notice and make swift decisions, which is really important when we're growing things in the wet season. Nutrition isn't the only thing that we need to be aware of when we're trying to grow a good legume crop. It doesn't matter if it's a green manure crop or you're trying to aim for that 4 tonnes. The opportunity that we have in our legume break crops is to actually control our weeds with different chemistry options than we would normally have available in our normal cane return cycle. So it's a great way for integrated pest management. We also need to be aware of, if we're going for grain, what our pest populations are, and ideally we go for a soft chemistry option first. What I mean by that is we have a lot of great beneficial bugs in here that are doing a lot of our hard work for us, If we come and nuke them very early on, it just allows for our really bad bugs to take over. So use your soft chemistry options first. If you're not sure what they are, there's a great resource online called the Beat Sheet. If not, you can speak to your local agronomist or pharmacist advisor to get some more information.